What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today is Wednesday, July 31st. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the flash crash that's just happened with the dog Rune token that's happened overnight. It was hovering around 370 million, now down to around 330 million. Now we predicted this in a video that we made just 5 days ago showing you in the charting analysis. So at the very end of the video, I want to share with you an update on what's going on with the charting analysis and what we could see in terms of a pattern that's being revealed. I also want to cover some news that's been kind of surfacing from Binance Research, how they're reporting that not only runes are very much taking over the transaction volume over Bitcoin, but other Bitcoin layer 2s as well. So in this video, I'm going to share with you, if you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling emotional, this is a perfect video for you to watch. So stay informed, stay educated, and let's begin. By smashing that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our Patreon page. And most importantly, please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct messaging, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So I have to admit, this is one crazy flash crash right here. And this to me seems like it was a big whale that ended up liquidizing his position. I mean, that is a lot of money right there being liquidized. This could be also a cascading effect, right? Sometimes when one whale decides to dump their holdings, sometimes people see that whale dumping their holdings and they tend to react emotionally, and then they sell as well. But I do want to share with you something that's kind of unique, and that is that Dog of the Moon over the past 24 hours is not only the #1 traded Rune token, even despite the retracement and pullback that we just seen in this dip, that it has already reached $500,000 in trading volume just in the past 24 hours. Now, when I select Dog of the Moon, I notice that the unique holder count is continuing to grow. And that is important because if you want to find out the best deals, you can click right here on geniedata.com and it will allow you to find prices at either Magic Eden, OKX, Unisat. These are the best places to kind of look for the best buys. But when we look at the data, we're seeing that the unique orders are growing, but my gosh, look at the amount of trades that have happened over the past 24 hours. Typically, this is around 300 to even 400 at most on busy days, but actually traded over 740. So this actually got close to almost around 80,000. It was almost 5 holders away from hitting 80,000 unique holders. But again, people are splitting their runes, making sure that people can buy it at a cheaper price. That's why you're seeing a lot of these lots or bulk items of dog go into smaller accounts. You can see that right now they're getting even smaller to the 40,000s, which can cost around 132 US dollars. So this is becoming a little bit more accessible for people to buy. So regardless, we're seeing the amount of unique holders grow, the market cap going down, and I brought up yesterday's video. Whenever this market cap is going to skyrocket or pump to the upside, you're going to see the amount of unique owners actually go down. That's what we actually want to see. Now, this is what I want to share with you, which is even though despite all the retracement and the downfalls of what's going on in the Rune market, Ordinals market, and also the meme coin market, this is what I want you to pay attention to. Now, I posted this yesterday, and I'm comparing layer 1 blockchains compared to their total meme market cap. So this is a total meme market cap. This is every single meme that exists within the ecosystem of these specific blockchains. So around 8.7 billion of the total meme market cap makes up that much in terms of Solana's total blockchain. And the same thing goes for Ethereum. But what you need to know is that runes have not been unlocked, meaning Bitcoin has not been completely exposed to the Rune ecosystem, mainly due to the technology not being or created. So right now, developers are creating swaps, lending, and borrowing. Right now, Liquidity is the only platform that provides lending and borrowing, but that's just one that I know of that's pretty promising, that's been developing on this Bitcoin layer for a few months now. So right now, this is just early on stage. And let me remind everybody, we're only 3.5 months in this stage of runes. We're not even half a year, even close to a year yet. So you are buying in at a very early stage. But this is the Rune ecosystem compared to the total market cap of the $1.3 trillion Bitcoin. And if you want to compare things, like once Bitcoin's liquidity is unlocked into the Rune ecosystem, this is what you could expect. So say for instance, if just 1% of Bitcoin's total market cap were exposed to runes, that'd roughly be around $13 billion. Now, what about 5%? Well, that'd be $65 billion. What about 10%? That'd be $130 billion. Now, when you see this, you're like, there's no way there's gonna be 10% of Bitcoin's liquidity flowing into runes. And I'll go back to this other chart. Look at these other ones. This is more than 10%, in fact, for both Ethereum and Solana. So when you look at any of these different percentages, 1%, 5%, or 10%, it's not unrealistic. So how will that affect DOG's market cap? Well, typically DOG's market cap makes up 45% of the total Rune ecosystem. So if you were to say that DOG were to reach 1% of Bitcoin's total market cap, that'd be $5.8 billion. What about 5%? $29 billion. What about 10%? $58 billion. You can imagine what that's going to do to the token price of DOG. And just today, Binance Research decided to retweet their Q2 report regarding runes, saying runes have generated over 2,500 of Bitcoin fees so far, which is this blue section. So right now we're seeing that regular Bitcoin, which is this section right here, and runes are almost taking up, well, runes are pretty much taking up 25% of the transaction fees, right? While Bitcoin takes the majority of the 75%. So nonetheless, 25% is really big for runes, but this was posted just today by Binance Research. There's a reason why they're posting, because they want their clients to be educated. Also, what they expect going forward is that Bitcoin layer 2s are growing. So we're talking about stacks, we're talking about Lightning Network, Merlin layer 2, all these different things that's being built on top of Bitcoin is the beginning of something new. Bitcoin is becoming more than a store of value, but the most secured and protected decentralized blockchain in the world. Why not build technology on top of that? We're even seeing that Ordinals right now are leading in transaction volumes across all different blockchains. Roughly 43.7% of the total trading volume across all different blockchains is in dominance of Bitcoin Ordinals. So do not fade runes. Runes is here to stay. Now, this is the charting analysis that I want you to watch out for, okay? Now, we're seeing that there is these two lines, these two red lines forming to the downside. Now we're waiting for another golden cross at some certain point. We almost got there right around here, here, and here, but it did not bounce to the upside. In fact, it was rejected. So the only golden cross that we saw was right here. This was the death cross, which is this blue one right here. We're waiting for another one. But remember, right now the price point is around 0.0033, which is 330 million market cap. Now we predicted this 5 days ago. I'll provide a link on the upper right hand side so you can see it, but I'm going to go ahead and show you a snippet right now. Right now, it's looking like it may want to go down even further. And I have to be realistic here. I don't care what anybody says. I am here to give charting analysis. I'm not here to be bearish, but if it were to go low, it'd be going low to around 330 million. So now that you saw that prediction, that realistically we could hit this specific market cap, how far can we go? The farthest I think we can go is actually right around here, 280 million market cap. That's the lowest I think that this can actually go. Why do I think that? It's because that is when the golden cross was formed. That's where I exactly think this bottom is going to reach. So until then, this is all accumulation mode. But what is this pattern that we are seeing? Well, we could be seeing this particular pattern, and it's called a falling wedge. Now, a falling wedge is very typical in most charting and analysis. It does not guarantee anything, especially if a coin has, a team allocation, a co-allocation, or just complete rug. Or in all honesty, it just doesn't have a strong community, which doesn't provide a lot of longevity for the specific token. But DOG ticks all the check marks and all the great symbols within a meme coin and is primed to be number one. But this is what you need to see. We are possibly forming a falling wedge. In a falling wedge, typically this is the dollar cost average, and people won't know in the very beginning. People tend to do it right here. But this is where people have a lot of fear. People dump their bags and they have no conviction in it. And if I were a shark, that's a perfect time to buy. And we could be forming this specific wedge right here. And they almost look very identical, which is kind of crazy. So once that falling wedge happens, then there's a breakout to the upside. Then we start the next new bull trend. And specifically with runes, with the Bitcoin liquidity market cap being exposed to it, it could jump pretty high. Nonetheless, I've been dollar cost averaging. I'm one of those sharks. I've been doing this ever since the big dip that we experienced on the first part of DOG. So I'm doing it again. Does not mean you should do it too. Remember, I think that this can go as low as 280 million market cap. But right now we're hovering around a 330 million market cap at the time of this recording. So with that said, I hope that this video has been informative for you. Things are happening with runes. I do not pay attention to just the market cap. I study DOG. I pay attention to the charting analysis, historical data, and also just based on what I've seen with the community, this isn't actually going anywhere. In fact, I've actually seen more positivity and more people buying into the token, but it's really up to you to decide what you want to do. This is where we have to talk about conviction. Are you willing to write this down to around 280 million? Are you going to dollar cost average, or are you going to hodl? You've seen what I've shared with you, so it's really up for you to decide what's going to happen next. So with that said, let me know your thoughts down below, and I cannot wait to read them. Be sure to smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to join our Patreon page to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding dog. Until then, see you guys and girls next time.